The rain fell in heavy sheets over the city that evening, washing away the dust from the streets but doing nothing to clean the grime from human hearts. Inside a warm, golden-lit restaurant, a millionaire in a tailored suit laughed into his wine glass. Across the wet pavement, hidden in the shadow of a bus stop, a little girl held a cardboard violin, a toy, really, with cracked plastic strings. She was 8 years old. Her name was Lily, and she was playing for coins so she could buy her mother a single meal. The millionaire, whose name was Mr. Sterling, saw her through the fogged window. He didn't feel pity, he felt annoyance. And then, to amuse his wealthy friends, he walked outside, knelt down to her level, and said with a cruel smile, "You want to be adopted, little girl? Play me something real. Play from the heart, and I'll take you home tonight." Lily looked up at him. Her fingers were trembling from the cold. But she didn't cry. She simply lifted her broken violin and began to play. And what happened next left him completely speechless. To understand the weight of that moment, we have to go back a little. Lily didn't live in an orphanage. She lived in a single room behind a laundromat with her mother, Elena. Elena was a widow who worked double shifts cleaning offices. She had a quiet cough that had been getting worse for months, but she never complained. Every night, she would come home, kiss Lily's forehead, and whisper, "We have each other." That is richer than gold. But love doesn't fill an empty stomach. Lily had never held a real violin. Her father, before he passed, used to hum classical melodies while cooking dinner. He dreamed of one day buying Lily a real instrument. He never got the chance. After he died, all Lily had left of him was a worn-out photograph and a memory of music. So she made her own violin. Cardboard, rubber bands, a pencil for a bow. She practiced every morning behind the laundromat, playing to the rhythm of the washing machines. The old janitor, Mr. Chen, would sometimes stop sweeping and listen. "That sounds like hope," he told her once. Lily didn't know what hope sounded like. She just knew that when she played, her chest didn't feel so heavy. That evening, Elena had come home from work with a fever. She tried to hide it, but Lily saw her mother shivering under the thin blanket. There was no medicine in the cupboard. No food in the tiny fridge. "Mama, don't worry," Lily said, putting on her oversized jacket. "I'll go play near the restaurant. The rich people drop coins sometimes." Elena grabbed her wrist weakly. "No, Amor. It's cold. It's dangerous." But Lily smiled the way only a child who has already lost too much can smile. "I'll be fast. I promise." So there she was, 8 years old, barely 4 feet tall, standing outside a restaurant where a single plate of pasta cost more than her mother made in a week. She played her cardboard violin. She played the melody her father used to hum, a simple, imperfect tune, like a lullaby that had been passed down through generations of broken homes and tired hands. Most people ignored her. A few dropped nickels into her open case. But then the door to the restaurant swung open, and Mr. Sterling stepped out into the rain. He was not a kind man. He had built his fortune on buying failing businesses and stripping them for parts. He had fired hundreds of workers without a second thought. That night, he was celebrating a new deal, a small factory closing, which meant a bigger bonus for him. His friends inside were laughing at a video on his phone. And through the window, he saw Lily. He saw her dirty jacket, her cardboard violin, and instead of feeling compassion, he felt something else. He felt the need to prove a point. That poverty was a choice. That some people just didn't try hard enough. So he walked outside. The rain touched his expensive shoes, and he frowned. He looked down at Lily, and he said those words. "Play and I'll adopt you." His friends watched from the window, grinning. They expected her to fail. They expected a laugh. But Lily closed her eyes. She lifted the cardboard violin to her chin. And then something happened that nobody in that restaurant could explain. The music that came out of that toy instrument was not possible. It was not the squeak of rubber bands on cardboard. It was deep. It was warm. It was the sound of a woman who scrubs floors until her hands bleed so her daughter can eat. It was the sound of a father humming in a kitchen who never got to say goodbye. It was the sound of every night Elena kissed Lily's forehead and said, "We have each other." The melody rose into the rain like a prayer. And Mr. Sterling stopped smiling. His chest tightened. His friends' grins faded. Because they all felt it. That melody was not being played by a child. It was being played through her. The old janitor, Mr. Chen, once said that Lily's music sounded like hope. But that night, it sounded like something even rarer. It sounded like forgiveness. When Lily finished, the rain had softened to a whisper. She opened her eyes. Her little hands were shaking. And then she looked up at the millionaire and said, very softly, I don't want you to adopt me, mister. I have a mama. She's sick tonight. I just wanted to buy her soup. Mister. Sterling fell to his knees. Right there on the wet pavement. His expensive suit soaked through. His eyes filled with tears. He had not cried in 20 years. He remembered something he had buried long ago. His own mother. A single mother who worked 3 jobs. Who went hungry so he could eat. Who died alone in a cold apartment while he was too busy making money to visit. He looked at Lily's cardboard violin. He looked at her small, brave face. And he whispered, that was the most beautiful thing I have ever heard. Lily tilted her head. It's just my heart, mister. My papa said music is just your heart being honest. That night, Mr. Sterling did not adopt Lily. He did something better. He drove her and her mother to a warm apartment he owned but never used. He paid for Alina's medicine. He bought Lily a real violin, not a fancy one, but a real one, with wooden strings that sang. And he sat with them in their new kitchen and ate soup from a can, because that was all Lily had to offer. He said it was the best meal of his life. But the real miracle was not the apartment or the violin. The real miracle was what happened to Mr. Sterling's heart. He sold his company 3 months later. He started a small foundation that gave free music lessons to children who had nothing. He visited Elena and Lily every Sunday. And every Sunday, Lily would play for him. Not the sad melody she played in the rain. A happy one. A song about second chances. Sometimes, the smallest act of kindness can change someone's world. But sometimes, it is not an act at all. Sometimes, it is just a child with a cardboard violin, playing her heart out in the rain, reminding a millionaire that he was once poor too. Lily never forgot what her mother taught her. Love is richer than gold. And Mr. Sterling, he never forgot what Lily taught him. That the poorest person in the room is sometimes the one holding the most treasure. It just looks different than you expect. It looks like a cardboard violin. It sounds like hope. And if you listen closely enough, it can bring a rich man to his knees. Share this story if it touched your heart.